Hello.
Then you become Swadha. Swadha is that you become the dharma of the spirit.
जय श्री माता जी। हम सभी श्री माता जी को प्रणाम करके बंधन लेंगे। महामंत्र।
प्रदाय
हम सभी श्री माता जी की अमृतवाणी सुनते हुए ध्यान में जाएंगे।
It's such a great thing to meet your children after such a long time. And that this country was really pestered with cold, so I had to come here, I think, just to make you feel warmer with love. It's a very heartening thing to see so many people who are in England, who are Yogis. As you know, England has to do tremendous effort to keep Sahaja Yoga afloat. Not only that, but you have to set in examples for others. As England is the heart of the universe, it circulates. Whatever example you set in circulates. People try to follow you. As I have told you before also, that English people should not try to follow other people but establish their own proper character, but not to be insular, by which you don't appreciate anybody else, or you cannot understand international relationships. That we are one world and it's only one great Virat in whose being we circulate. Moreover, the people who are from the heart have to be much more open and moving and giving, because that's the job of the cell of a blood that passes through heart. And that's how you are made specially for this. I think this is a little bit interesting. I've been speaking after you finished your tour on a subject in India, but I think it is more related to us here in the West than to Indians. And that is something we have to understand, that we are in the midst of terrible conditions, horrible conditions, which are taking us to hell. And if we realize how important it is, come and sit down, how important it is for us to get together and save this area which we call as the Western world. So I've already given a little talk which you may hear when you have this seminar or this Shiv Puja, but I would like to tell you about it. That Shri Krishna a long time back told that the roots of the awareness are in the brain, but the human awareness grows downward. That's how we have grown downward. We have grown towards things which, if allowed to grow that way, may take us away completely from the roots. Now if you start, say, the movement, as I said, from Bhavasagara, from the evolutionary process of going downward. Now in the Bhavasagara, that is in the visceras of the stomach and all these places, we have a capacity, what we call as of consumption. We can even consume the poison. The liver can consume the poison. It has the capacity to consume the poison as heat, and then it delivers the heat to the bloodstream, the water of the bloodstream. So the capacity we have to consume all those things makes us what we call swaha. Swaha means consumption. And from this consumption, when we consume all these things, we consume our ego, we consume our conditioning, you consume all those things which are detrimental to our growth, we become swadha. Swa is the spirit and dha is the dharma. We get the dharma of the spirit. And you know what is the dharma of the spirit is sahaja. But when we start going downward only with our awareness, from the Nabi chakra, we start moving downward. What happens to us? That we move to the second position of Swadhisthana. And the Swadhisthana has got the essence, has got the capacity to be Bhurva. Bhurva means the whole creation, the universe that is created. That's how we get creativity through Swadhisthana. So when we start moving downward, what happens to us? We go to all the stars and the planets and all they are created. That's what we are doing, wasting our energy for nothing at all. But apart from that, in the wrong way when we move, our attention goes to creativity, which is destructive, which is negative, which brings death, which suggests insipidness. Like the art today is, when you see the art, you don't know whether to vomit or to run away or to cry. So that explains why people are producing such horrid things, and when you look at them you don't understand what is this going on. So the art, the creativity in every way, the creativity of every kind becomes so horrid. So the third stage is that we go to Bhu. Bhu is this Mother Earth. Mother Earth is the one which creates also Shri Ganesh. Now when we go towards Mother Earth, we start extracting Mother Earth, taking out her all that is precious, that is needed, out of proportion. Because we have got machines. Now we have got machines, so we must produce, the machine must produce more and more and more out of proportion. It should go on, and when it wants to continue, it has to go on that way so that you feed the machine to produce more. Can I have my handkerchief? Or she'll get it. Now, this production is useless. There is no need to have so much production for us. You see, plastics after plastics, then this nylons after nylons, then this all kinds of polyester, and I don't know, all kinds of things that they have started producing. All man-made nonsense that they have. There's no need to have so much. But then we go on accumulating things, and that's how we become extremely materialistic people. Actually, to be materialistic in the real sense is that we understand the value of matter. And the value of the matter is aesthetics, artistic things, real artistic things, and beyond that is the value of matter is that you can give love to others through that matter, by giving as presents, by your generosity. So you lose that also. That power also you lose. That is, you start extracting your Mother Earth in such a way that you don't know what to do with the acid gas that is coming out of these productions, and then all your trees are getting destroyed. It's so destructive. The whole thing is so destructive. So then you move to the essence of Muladhara, which is innocence. And when it is innocence, you start attacking innocence. Now you read horrible things when you come here. I got the jitters when I heard about a 6-year-old girl and a 3-year-old girl. I just can't bear it. Supposing that was my child, what would have happened to me? And it's my child. That's how I feel. Then we are attacking the innocence everywhere, in every place, and we have no sense of Muladhara. That's how we go down. And one step forward, where do we go? Into hell. That is our movement. We are going towards hell. Straight forward, our movement is towards hell. because I have explained in that little talk, you can hear it again, that when you see the steps, you see the downward steps, then you just see the platforms, which are very good, maybe of marble, very attractive, very sensational, whatever you may call it. And you feel like going down, it's easy to go down with the gravity, because you have come out from amoeba stage, or even earlier from carbon stage. So you feel it's easy to go down. It's much easier to go down. So you go on stepping on these steps and go down. You don't see the heights. But when you are going higher, rising higher, then you start seeing the heights. And when you see the heights, what do you see? From down below, absolutely this is our task. From the hell we have to pull out people out. This hell. And this is what we call as the adhogati, going downward. Adhogati, going downward. We have to take to urdhvagati, going higher. How do we go higher? Only Kundalini is the way. That you can see clearly. Even people who try to go higher without the Kundalini, say from Nabhi upwards, how do they do it? They go up to Mana. This is the emotional side. That's the motherhood. And you go against the mother. When you go there, what you find, that you get attached to this woman, then that thing. It goes on to this family, to other things, and again you come down. Then you go ahead, you go into Jana. It's the one which is what we call the public, the others. Jana is the public, is the Virata's place, as you know, this is the Virata's place. And when you go to that place, to Virata's place, what happens to you? That you start becoming very conscious of yourself. Oh, I'm a public man, I'm a public person, this is my reputation, I'm this and I'm that. And then you start exploiting people with your politics and all other things like that. And you develop your egos, all kinds of nonsensical things. With your mana, from your center heart, you develop also your conditionings. And that's how you develop a funny personality, which is not urdhvagati, which is not going higher, but is actually giving you additional problems on your back. Then the third thing is here at the Agya, as I told you, you develop your ego. The other day, Patrick rang me up to say, Mother, why are we developing our Agya so much nowadays? I said, stop reading newspapers. The prime ministers are fighting for their seats and this and that, and if you read newspapers, you will also feel that you are a prime minister, you are better fighting. Because when you see a picture or any drama, sometimes you get identified and you think, I am Napoleon myself. So don't read newspapers. Don't read these mad, about these mad people who are just trying to overpower each other. Like this Marcos fellow. The other day somebody said that, Mother, you get rid of this Marcos. Now he's out. So many will be out. But what about us? Do we have some of them within our heads? Do we also have the same ideas of materialism or ego or all these trips that these people have had? So as a result, when you see these things, on the contrary, you should try to avoid it and jump onto urdhvagati. Then you go higher. From there, in the head is the Sat, is the truth. That's what you discover, truth, should discover in the normal way. But in the abnormal conditions, when you try just to climb up to the brain, what happens is that whatever you know through your mental conception becomes the truth. Everyone is like that. See, about religion, you'll find a person believes that this is the truth. Now, this is the truth. I am the one who represents, say, Christianity. I am the one who represents Muhammad Sahib. I am the one who represents Nanak Sahib. I am the one who represents Shri Rama, Shri Krishna. None of them represent. It's just a concept. And with that concept, if you move about like that, then what happens? You just get stuck onto that idea. That is how fanaticism comes in, as far as religion is concerned. There are many things of like that. This is a concept, and that's the fact, and that's the truth, and that's what I believe in this. Why do you believe in that? Who are you? When they say, I believe, just go and ask them, who are you after all to believe in that? That's Mr. Ego, that's all. Then there are people who are conditioned. And that's whatever is their conditioning, they think, this is the conditioning, this is the thing I am brought up, this is how I have lived, and this is how I am, and this is what is the truth. Both things are absurd, mythical. That's not the truth. So when you start through your Urdhvagati, through your Kundalini, you see the height. You see that now we have to rise, rise with our innocence. We have to get to our innocence. We have to be innocent people. But even in Sahaja Yoga, you'll find some people, I call them sometimes like monkeys, jump from Urdhvagati to Adogati, Adogati to Urdhvagati. You don't know which side they are going. You have to hold on to these steps which you have got. First is the innocence. Your morality, as you call that, or the chastity. That's the first step you have to achieve. Unless and until you achieve that step, how are you going to go further? But the other way around. They think if you tell something very truthfully to mother, I have had 5 love affairs, I have had 6 abortions, 10 this thing, then mother is going to be very happy with you. Because they have told the truth. That's not the truth. That's not what is wanted. Are you now a chaste person? Have you got ideas of chastity and dharma? That is the second step you can move into. Aesthetically, are you rich aesthetically? Are you generous? Can you appreciate the art of every country? Or you just think, oh, it's not good because it's not English, or it's not good because it's not French, or maybe it's not from Wimbledon. Could come to that point. I mean, what is happening to us, we are becoming so insular, so small, so narrow in our outlook. That's impossible. We cannot appreciate another person at all. You ask anyone, everybody has an opinion about others. What about yourself? What is your opinion about yourself? Can you laugh at yourself? And when I am giving lecture, we also sometimes think that mother is talking about somebody XYZ, not about me. That's not so. We have to project to ourselves and find out, are we in chastity? Are we in dharma? Have we achieved that? Have we achieved our innocence? Have our eyes achieved that innocence, that simplicity, that power? So then we move up higher on the bhurva state, where we have to know, are we aesthetically equipped? Do we have proper aesthetics? In our behavior, in our dress, in our lifestyle, and everything, or are we still going on with the same things? Like some hippies, when they come to Sahaja Yoga, it's impossible to make them understand that no more hippies now. Then some come from another group, another funny style, then they have the same style of behavior. No, sahaja. We have to be in the sahaja style, which is a common style for all the Sahaja Yogis all over the world, to dress up decently, to talk decently, to have sweet words, no harsh words, no anger, no temper, nothing of the kind, but very, very gentle and a dignified personality. Now here some of the so-called dignified also can be very brutish. I have seen that. They can be very dignified and they can be very inauspicious. So the another quality of innocence, which is auspiciousness, or we can say the combination of innocence and bhurva state, is auspiciousness. Does your house gives auspiciousness? Does your countenance give auspiciousness? Does your talk is auspicious? Is it a mantra when you talk? Have you purified yourself so much that everything that you do, every movement that you have is auspicious? Is it blissful to be in your house, to be in your company, to be with you? Is it blissful? Let us direct ourselves to ourselves and see that are we blissful? Are we emitting vibrations that are good? It's a very tremendous task because you have to do it. You have to do it. Nobody else is going to do it. If you want to save this world, you must know it's a tremendous task, and one has to go into a tapa for that, to know that you have to be pure people. Otherwise there could be hypocrites. There are many who are Sahajogis and not at all Sahajogis. Sahaja is not for hypocrites at all. You cannot be hypocrite. You have to be what you preach, what you say, what you understand, and what we stand for. It's not like this, oh, I am a Christian, all right, I am a Christian, but it's all right, I can have adulterous eyes, all right. So after all, you see, it's all allowed. Then what else? Oh, I can drink, smoke, what else? Oh, I can also kill some people, doesn't matter, you see, it's all, I'm a Christian after all. How are you a Christian? And I am a Hindu, you see, I am a perfect Hindu, but doesn't matter, you see, if I try to discriminate between Sikhs and Hindus, doesn't matter. How? Why? There's no discrimination allowed in Hinduism. No discrimination of any kind. Everybody has the same Atma. How can you discriminate? How can you have dowry system in a Hindu society? How can you have any system of caste system in a Hindu society? You cannot have. Just cannot have. It's not the religion. So they speak one thing, do another thing, all hypocrites and all fanatics. And that's how they become fanatics. Like you asked Bishop of Canterbury, he says that, oh, Holy Ghost, I don't know, I'm agnostic about it. I'm doing my job. That's all. This kind of frivolous attitude, or we can say a very hypocritical attitude, is not for the Sahajogis. They have to be what they are preaching, what they are standing for. They cannot have that kind of a personality that one can say, oh, I have seen this hypocritical fellow calls himself Sahaja. We can't. There has to be somebody who is genuine, who is real, who is truthful. We cannot live with that kind of a compromise. We have to be what we are, because we have got the light of the Spirit. So then you go ahead and you have to become the higher personality of a guru through consumption. Consume. How much I consume? Go on consuming all the time. This time I came, I am consuming your left Shuddhis, I am consuming your viruses, I don't know. In 2 days I must have consumed oceans and oceans of troubles. No, we don't consume at all. Because if somebody says something to us, we must come back with a harsh word, somehow or other, to kill that person that is finished forever. That's smartness. We can consume all that. That consumption is taught by Christ very well. Can we consume? No, we can come out with big talks and big things, you see, we must do this, we must do that. We are not here union leaders, are we? We don't want to appear in the newspapers or anything. What we want to consume, we are here to consume things. Newspapers have to, advertise, expand it. We are here to consume all that is bad. You follow your responsibility, please. Consume that is wrong. How do we consume? Through meditation, through prayers. Now this is happening in this country. What are we doing about it? So we have to consume it. Not to get into explosions, not to get into expressions, but to consume it. Then you become Swadha. Swadha is that you become the dharma of the spirit. Swadha. You sustain that dharma within yourself. Then you become that. It's not any kind of hypocrisy about it. It just, if I say don't drink I mean, you are not, you shouldn't drink wine. I don't drink at all. I mean, no question. I mean, you cannot make me drink, even if you want to. If I say don't tell lies, then you don't tell lies. You don't just do it because you have to just say that way, or you say that don't kill. I cannot kill anyone. I cannot be tempted. In the same way, you all have to be, I cannot do it. I cannot be tempted. How can I be tempted? I say I shouldn't get into tempers. I shouldn't be angry for nothing at all. For the slightest thing, people just jump into a temper. That means I should not be tempted to do that. That wisdom, that dignity, that balance, that poise must come into a Sahaja. Unless until that comes into you, who is going to believe you that you have achieved anything, this transformation? You are still on Adhogati, sometimes into Urdhogati, then going to Adhogati, again to Urdhogati. You are jumping from one to another. So now you move on to another higher level, is from there to what you call the Mahalakshmi Tattva starts, where you start jumping onto a much higher position where it is mana. Mana is, I said, is emotions. Your emotions become compassion. Now see, the difference between emotions and compassions is very different. You see, when the tree hasn't got flowers, it takes. When it gets the flower, it gives. It gives the fragrance. In the same way, when you become the compassion, you give. You don't expect how others treat you, how others behave towards you. But you think by giving you will win over the person. You give. And that is what you have got to give compassion through your vibrations. But to have that, you have to be swadha. Unless until you have that, you cannot give vibrations either. So then all these smaller ideas, it's my wife, my husband, my child, my house, my this, my brother, my sister. In the beginning everybody comes out with the whole family list. They may not have seen their father for 10 years, but they'll come, my father is sick, mother cure him first. I have not seen him for 10 years, doesn't matter. So everything becomes a liability on mother, that you must, all the relations, all the great-grandparents and all the great-grandchildren must be cured by surgery. But there is no compassion. And in compassion, you do not see these relations like, is it not all right? It's fallen off. Can't you hear me?
No, it's just...
They all can hear. Yeah, just checking it. I don't know. I think you should push it back a little bit, then it will be better. No. Just open it out. Just open it. Then now push this back. Take that back. Oh, still. Now bring this further. There should be a balance. Now it will stay. You see, this into that, this should balance that, alright? Thank you. But can you hear me otherwise? Now, so when you become the compassion, before this you are to be enlightened. You are to be enlightened. You have no light. You don't know how to walk the path. You don't know how to go round. You don't know how to know others. You don't know where you are sitting. If in a group you put off the lights, everybody starts sort of hitting each other or trampling over each other because they don't know. But now the lights are on. So you know how you are related to each other. You are under the light. You can see each other. You can feel each other. You can understand each other. That's how the compassion works. Compassion works automatically. You don't have to do much about it, but know that you have to be a compassion. But if you are still a person wanting others to love you, then it won't work out. How much did you love them? Is your love for another person is doubted? do you doubt? Then you are not compassionate. In that love you may even scold the person, you may even shout at the person. But the love should be there for the benevolence. So the compassion should be for the benevolence of the person. If you are not benevolent, you have not been compassionate. Like spoiling somebody, spoiling your child, spoiling your wife, spoiling your husband. This is not compassion. Compassion is a pure ray of beautiful light of God's love, which gives benevolence to another person, hita. So that should happen to you when you talk of compassion. You go further with the jana, public. Those people who cannot carry on with Sahajogis are absolutely useless people. These are the cream. These are the best people in the whole world. Of course, some are like this, doesn't matter. But they are the topmost people. They are the people wedded to such high ideals. Where do you get anybody with idealism? You go to the UN, you go anywhere, you find people, they have no idealism of any kind. It's only for the job, only for the money, or this or that. They are working there. You are the people who have idealism. You are the people who are striving for something higher. You are the people who are going to save the whole world. And those who cannot carry on with Sahajogis and find faults with Sahajogis are really no good for us. They should get out of Sahajoga. What is your public is first and foremost is Sahajogis. The rest of them are outsiders so far. But your attitude should be that you have to pull them out. You have to emancipate. You have to be kind to them. You have to be compassionate. And you have to bring them to Sahajoga. You have to be extremely nice to them. But more than that, you have to be very, very extremely nice to Sahajogis. I can't understand Sahajogis being nice to others and not to them, their own clan, or you can call whatever you may call it, to their own brothers and sisters. When I see Sahajogis together, loving each other, being kind to each other, and also giving some good news about each other, I feel extremely happy. That's one of the most joyous time for me. When I find that you are giving, I'll hold it. Should I take it out? It's better. Imbalance. You take this out, that's better for me. That's the way.
Shall I take that?
Yeah, that's all.
Just back.
Alright, now it's alright. Just put it together. It's alright. Now, I hope it won't fall. It's like some Sahajogis, you see. So then you come to the point where you are in the public. You are in the public. You have to circulate now. You have to articulate in the public. You have to move in the public. You are not only for a secluded some group of Sahajogis. You are not that. But you have to articulate. You have to circulate. Now for that, what should we do? We have to understand that we have to form other groups, other things by which we can circulate. Let's say now in England we can form some societies. Let's form some societies which are not what we call them as the Sahajogas, because you are different from them. So now let us form some societies. We form certain societies. Say let us form a society where we talk about the decadence of this country. How the decadence has come in. Why it is there. Why are we spoiling our young children. Why are we behaving like this. Let us see. Let us start a society under this name. Let us start a society which will fight all social problems. Like let us, I said in India, let us start a society which is against dowry system. That's how you will circulate with them. And later on when they come up to a point, they will say your character, and then you can talk to them about sahaja. Like these women have, what is that called, women lib and all that. I mean, that is nonsense, you know that very well. But they have formed a society, so they are there, they are circulating. We have to have sensible, wise people forming a society. So from Sahaja group, we have to move to societies where you need not talk about Sahaja. You need not tell them there is emancipation. But let us circulate through them and let them know about dharma. Forming no religion as such is in a religion as we have. Just without any religion you can start it off. So that's how you meet the public. There are many such ways which you can think by which you can meet the public. And then you have to know you are the part and parcel of your mother. There are three things asked from God. That there is salokya, that, oh God, we should be able to see you, salokya. Samipya is, oh God, let us have your company. And third one is, oh God, let us sort of have a rapport with you. These are the three things that are asked from God. But the fourth thing that has happened to you is tadatmya, means you have become part and parcel of my body. As a result of that, you have to keep your body all right. You have to be pure people. You have to be sensible. Otherwise, I get into trouble. It's a very venturesome thing I've done. Doesn't matter. I don't mind. But you people look after yourselves. You be sensible people, and when you have funny ideas in your head, know that these funny ideas can trouble our mother very much. So out of love for me, you have to keep loving yourself. And you can love yourself only if you have pure intelligence to know what is frivolous, what is nonsensical, whatever is asahaj. So you move like one body, always support each other. If one person is troubled, the rest of them should help. That's how the collectivity is going to work out. Not to criticize each other, to sit down and just to show off. So then you rise even higher to this state of Jesus Christ, Mahavira and Buddha. Then what do you have to do? Is tapa. Is the penance. You have to do the penance. Well, like living in Brahmapuri was a penance, I thought, but you all enjoyed it a bit too much. Or Ganpati Pulayagare, you thought it was too much. Some people did do some penance by sitting in the sun. But penance means you should be able to penance means sacrifice. Without feeling the sacrifice. Do the work as a sacrifice. We are bound by work. We have to work. Human beings have to work. But the work that is a sacrifice is the most nourishing thing, is the most joy-giving thing. And that's what happened. In Brahmapuri, I must say it was very Spartan. It was both for you and for your hosts. It was quite funny place to live in. And one snake crawled into somebody's shoes, I am told. But still you all enjoyed it because you didn't feel the sacrifice. It was, in a way, sacrifice for both the parties, I think, your hosts and the guests. But still you enjoyed, and that's what it is. Now you will enjoy your sacrifices. Apart from all other virtues, you will enjoy your sacrifices. That is one of the quality of the spirit, because you are so detached. You'll enjoy it. So that's how you come to the state of tapa. The last is Satya, is the truth. That is what is in the brain, as Shri Krishna has described, are the routes where you have to go. Of course, the doors are open to you. You must know that you know the truth. You know the truth, nobody else. Are you aware of this? That you are the only few people under this roof who know the truth. The rest don't know any truth whatsoever. So you have to be compassionate to them, because they are blind, they can't see. As we are kind to the blind people, we have to be kind to the people who do not know the truth. You know the truth. And the truth is that you are the Spirit. And then you know all through all miracles that you are walking in the kingdom of heaven, that you are blessed by God and that you are looked after Him. So many miracles happen, so many of these that suggest that you are really looked after by God Almighty. So many beautiful things have happened to you. Just think of them one by one, from where to where we have come. From down below hell, rising up one by one, step by step, now we have come to the brain. Thanks to our Kundalini that we have come up there. That the mother has brought you there. This Kundalini, which is your mother, has brought you there. Respect her. Respect your realization. Respect each other and know that you are higher than billions and billions of people of this earth. You are special people, and as that you have to behave in the most humble, respectable and a loving manner. I say love is the highest. Everyone who has developed a language of love is working out God's wish, because God's wish, His desire, His icha, that Shakti is the power of love. We work out everything with hatred. What's wrong with that person? What's wrong with that house? What's wrong with this association? With that? That is all hatred. But let's see what's good with that. What's nice? What's joyful? When your eyes turn that way, when your attitudes turn like that, then you must know that you are Yogis. For that, Christ has given us a big weapon called forgive, forgive, forgive. And the truth is dawned upon you. You know the truth. Through your vibrations, you know, through your vibratory awareness, you know. But there is a very big but, for which I have to tell you again and again, and I am telling you again today, which is the most important thing for a Sahaja Yogi, is to use your vibratory awareness. They don't. They just don't use their vibratory awareness. In judging others, they never use their vibratory awareness. Then how do we say they are special people? Because you have the same eyes, you have the same nose. What about your vibratory awareness? Did you see the vibrations when you did something? You did not. That's why the mistakes. Because these vibrations come as an indication from something, that is your spirit, which is an absolute thing, which is in absolute state. It is not relative, it absolute. So whatever information it gives you is absolute, and you should take to that absolute understanding. This is where we miss. So today, just before Shiv Puja is the puja of the spirit within you. It's the spirit within you. And for this puja especially, you have to determine that now we will use our vibratory awareness to judge something. I think is not there. I think is a wrong idea. I know through vibratory awareness. We have to develop a word for this, which if it's I feel, could be something nonsensical. But you really, as they say, that Marathi there's a word jani, is a feeling, but is a new awareness. Through this awareness, this divine awareness, through that you have to judge everything, to know everything, and to do everything through that. This is what we have to use. And when we start doing that, then you will know that God is working out everything for us. It's so simple. Life becomes much simpler. All your complications, all your angers, all your troubles, all will vanish as soon as you start using this, because it's such an universal thing and such a benevolent blessing. It just makes you wonderful. You become a wonderful personality. Happy, joyous, straightforward, open-hearted, fearless. Absolutely enchanting. May God bless you all. Want to have any questions? Come forward. There is a lot of room here. Any questions? This lecture has been rather complicated, I think, in a way. So it's better to repeat it for them sometimes again. Maybe at Shiv Puja would be a good idea. Any question, please?
How can you forgive a man like Hitler?
What's it?
How can you forgive a person like Hitler?
Actually, you see, you don't do anything. When you forgive or not forgive, you really don't do anything. It's a myth. It's just a myth. I don't forgive means what do you do? It's a myth.
Then how you feel about the person when you go with them crying or other people?
Beg pardon?
It's how you feel towards the person who's committed them crying on the senseless Jewish people.
What's it?
Talking about Hitler. Talking about Hitler.
But what about Jews now? If they had forgiven Hitler, God would have looked after him. God is looking after him. But when the Jews didn't forgive him, they have become more like now Hitler sometimes. They behave like Hitler. Sometimes I feel the way they are treating PLO people is something horrible. You see, so if you do not forgive, you become like the person you are like, hating. If you forgive, you don't become like that. That person goes out of your mind completely. I mean, they have imbibed certain qualities now. I can't imagine Jews behaving like this. They are behaving in a very funny manner. You can see it clearly. I mean, they had no place to go. They had no land to live. They were given a land, and now the way they are troubling PLOs. I mean, I was amazed because I met some of the students of this PLO, people who came to India, who have been given asylum. And when I heard how Jews tortured them, just like Hitler, just like Hitler. I wish they had forgiven. After all, if they had not forgiven Hitler, what did they do out of it? Nothing. Hitler is punished by God, not by you. What can you punish him? We cannot punish him. All right? When we forgive, we don't imbibe that cruelty within ourselves. That's the biggest thing happens. Apart from that, we do not suffer when we forgive. I mean, if you go on thinking about it, what people did, say, think of the people when Mr. Columbus reached America, who followed them, what they did there. Horrible things. I mean, worse than Hitler. They wiped out each and every person from there. Then, when they tried to consume other countries, going to other countries and ruling them, if you go to China, you'll be shocked even about English, what they have to say. Even in India, if you go, you'll find how can anybody forgive them if you think what they have done? But that is finished now, gone, forever. You are not to think about it at all, it's finished. Today, what is the situation? You have to see. You'll be amazed if I tell you that myself I was tortured by English very much. So what? For me or my children, I don't think of that at all because that's finished. They were brutish people, that's all. Finished. Where are they? Where is Hitler today? Where are those people who died? Finished. Better to forgive so that God punishes them well. Now, today is not the time of punishing anyone. It's the time of evolving, of helping people to rise above that. So there is no more danger of getting any Hitlers on this earth. We have to create such a beautiful garden. Why think of the thorns? Forget about all that nonsense, you see. These are special blossom times, let us think of the flowers and not of the past and the thorns that we had finished off. We have to give something very beautiful to our children, isn't it? A heritage where people will say, oh, I see, there were people who forgave all such things and created a beautiful world for us. Isn't it a nice thought? Better than not forgiving. Like that we go on thinking about, he did this and he did that. There's no end to it. God looks after. He'll punish. He's punished him so badly. Now nobody wants to take Hitler's name. I mean, somebody sees Hitler's photograph somewhere, he will go and have a bath in India. He'll just go to the river Ganges and have a bath. Oh God, how did I see Hitler's face anywhere? What more you want as a punishment for a Hitler that they can't even face his photograph? No, and some person who looks like Hitler, you see, they'll say you just shave off your mustache at least. Don't look like that. So inauspicious. Yes, I know somebody who looked like Hitler and they said you should shave off your mustache and comb your hair from the other side or make it parting in the center. We can't see you like this early in the morning. Imagine what an inauspicious face. He's hated by everyone. You go to any place, even in Germany they hate him. So what's the use of such a character being so much dominant on our heads? Nothing to do with. Because once you start thinking about him, you also develop certain habits that he had. I mean, little cruelty comes up when you become angry and when you cannot forgive others. You also think it's right that you can punish others. Here we are not fighting the sword with a sword, but with a shield. We are fighting the sword with a shield. You never fight sword with a sword. You fight it with a shield. That's wise attitude towards life, I think. Otherwise you will create more Hitlers. One Hitler is dead and now 10 Hitlers have come out. Already have come out. They are all to be finished now, once for all. You can help by creating a new pattern, new world of beauty. Any other question, please? That's a nice question, I know. It happens to me. But now you're feeling better inside, aren't you? Much more. That's how we have to bring peace on this earth. How are we going to bring peace if there's still lurking anger? Not forgiving means anger, that's all. What else? Ask some questions at least. Must ask some questions. Yes, what's that, doctor?
Sometimes in my work, I find myself getting very angry with the people I work with. Is this ever appropriate, or should one always try and love and forgive them and be gentle?
Yes, better try that. As far as possible. But sometimes, you see, anger can also help. But I think just now for us, we are developing now, it's better to take to the more gentler ways and things like that, not to get angry for the time being. But we'll have to show anger sometimes. Let God show the anger, let Him take the credit. You will be more effective if you are gentle, I tell you. By anger you cannot correct people, you cannot make them more efficient, but by love. Those days are gone where anger and hot temper used to impress people. Nowadays people don't like such people. Anger, or some people are also very silly. You see, they think by being silly they'll impress others, like clowns or something. It's not so. Now we are different people in this world, and they just know that this is a silly person. That's all. They expect a leader or anybody who has to give something to others has to be something of a higher and a better personality. It's expected. Cheapish things or anything that is publicly people may like you to do. If a leader does that, they don't like it. They don't like it. Leader is supposed to be something above the normal. But the idea is leadership these days is all right. Everybody is doing the shake, so the leader is also doing the shake. Then everybody wears a tight jean, the leader also wears the tight jean, and he can't sit on his chair. So that's not the way. That's not the way you can be leaders. A leader has to make a pattern of his own, and he doesn't have to solve the problem of the people, but give them the problem to be solved. That's how leadership works out. So for anybody who wants to get anything done, must learn that the pattern should be of such a level that others should not take advantage, should not think that they can bring you to your level. For example, I'll tell you, in India, there's a habit of eating tobacco, as they call it, is tobacco, dried tobacco. Now those people who eat tobacco, see, say there's a high court judge, he'll call his peon and ask him, have you got they call it dubby, means a small little pocket pouch, it's called dubby. So have you got the dubby? So the whole dignity is finished. Whole dignity is finished. That just an ordinary peon can say, do you want a dubby? So then it's done. What about his great position and dress and everything? He makes a big gown he wears, and that thing on the, what you call that, on the head they wear a kind of a, what do you call, Kavinda? Wig, kind of a wig. And all that is useless because you are asking for a dubby from a peon. So what impresses people is dignity, balance, poise, humility, and truthfulness. Straightforward truthfulness, even in day-to-day work. Of course, efficiency comes like that. Peacemaking. You must make peace between 2 persons, 10 persons. Try to make peace instead of supporting one person or taking sides. Best is to make peace. But if somebody is doing absolutely wrong, then you have to take another attitude.
हम सभी मिलकर अब श्री माता जी की आरती करेंगे।
सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी। दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी। दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जग में संकट कारण कितने लिए अवतार, माँ कितने लिए अवतार। विश्व में तेरी महिमा, विश्व में तेरी महिमा। तू गंगा यमुना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी। दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जो भी शरण में आया, सुख ही मिला उसको, माँ सुख ही मिला उसको। बैठ के दिल में हो माँ, बैठ के दिल में हो माँ। लौट के ना जाना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल भी पहचाना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। संत जनों की धरती है भारत माता, माँ है भारत माता। इस धरती पर आकर, इस धरती पर आकर दुख से दूर करना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जब दिल में आए तब मधुर संगीत सुन लो, माँ मधुर संगीत सुन लो। होए सके जो सेवा, होए सके जो सेवा, हमसे करा देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती महाकाली त्रिगुणात्मिका कुंडलिनी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माता जी। श्री निर्मला नमो नमः। श्री कल की साक्षात श्री आदि शक्ति माता जी श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल की साक्षात् श्री सहस्रार स्वामिनी मोक्ष प्रदायिनी माताजी श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः बोलो श्री आदि शक्ति माता जी श्री निर्मला देवी की जय।
Thank you.